Clue what tomorrow's going to bring, but Tuesday night, 14th, I just got me a well-deserved shower and stepped out to see this. So I thought I would show you what the evening looks like. It was a little too freaking hot and muggy to think about standing out in the hot sun or working on that thing earlier, so I did get a battery charger hooked onto it. See if the batteries will come up. I know a couple of them are bad, but you know, do what you can do. Maybe getting a charge on it and hooking the service truck up to it and it'll fire. We might try that tomorrow, because I don't want it sitting out here for 2 inches of rain, because that plastic just ain't the best. I don't need to fill the cab full and it probably I'll run right into the electrical panel, you know, be my luck. So anyway, hope you'll have a good evening. If I go down here farther, maybe it's prettier, I don't know. Yeah, it ain't showing up. Oh well, I'll get you some more so you got something to watch. Kind of looks like last night. And some weird shaped clouds over there. Just there's wind up above. That's hitting the cherry tree behind the machine shed. That's hitting the neighbor's trees, but yeah, flying ain't doing much. So we'll just see what happens. Might be a little windy today. I was trying to get my phone out. I wasn't quick enough. No. I remembered something the other day. The guy we got it from said they had trouble getting it started once in a while. And his brother had put a new wire to the fuel pump. So I've been checking voltage, or checking for power. I don't have a volt tester. I think I just, there we go, this thing in my hand. And when I first put it on up there, it didn't have power, and I moved the wire a little and then it had power. So I thought, okay, let's see what doesn't happen. I'll tell you what doesn't happen. It started, and no, I did not pull the service truck out and hook it up. This has been on a 10 amp charger hooked at the starter, so it's charging all the batteries at the same time. So it's got 10 amp charge on it since yesterday about noon. 2 o'clock, somewhere in there I guess is when I hooked it on. So she started coughing and sputtering and she ran. And yeah, nothing there. So I still gotta pop the hood and take a look at that. But she is running. And honest, I was trying to get my phone out, but I didn't want to let off on the key because it was still turning over good. So that's what she got. Not much of a cold start. I mean, it huffed and puffed. I could see the shadow from it, but she's a runner. I just shut her down. I came to take this off. I'm going to leave it on a little bit. I got this little issue. I got this alien blood dribbling down from up there. Now I got to see what the hell's going on with that. Didn't leak before. I threw a guess out there. I'm going to say it's probably that little line right there because it's wet full length. And the only thing wet below is below that line and where it ran down that way. So yay. And that tank's about half full, so, and there's no pressure. Guess I'm doing some tinkering before I move it. Yay. Hopefully I got a line about that size. Then I get hung up down here because I got my tester around my neck. It's got a pretty long lead too. I didn't have the hose I thought I did. That's 1/4 inch. That one isn't leaking. It's just the one that was here. So change a couple fittings. Now it doesn't rub against that upper radiator hose like the other one did. That's actually a hydraulic hose that we had made rather than buying new grease hoses for the baler a long time ago. But regular hydraulic hose doesn't flex the way it needs to, and we tore the shit out of one. Kind of buggered one up, but it's still alright, and this was the good one out of the bunch. So hopefully that fixes that. We'll see if it'll start again. Ooh. And I don't see a bunch of antifreeze leaking from here, and I'm looking right at the hose. One fitting I'm a little concerned about, the brass T going into the tank, because the hose is JIC, and the fitting I had for that would fit is a tubing. Just means it's a different angle, but it's brass, so it should seal. And looky. You can read the gauges. Wasn't charging before, now it is. And yeah, the tack don't work. So 5,950 hours, what it says. I bought it being told it had, I think, 13,000 on it. Either way, that's how easy she fires up. And I still don't see no leak. The only dribble I did find besides that is a fuel leak at the pump. And I'm not sure where it was leaking. Now I know where that's leaking. I couldn't have thought it might have been on the shaft. It's only been 35 years since I dinked with one of those pumps. Don't really remember much about them, but we'll have to address that. Fine, I'll tell you what we're going to do. She's going to push it in. I was in there, but I was too far to the right. I wasn't going to clear with the front on a pole. The 4-speed is in neutral. That's stuck in a forward gear, so I can't back up and it won't roll. But it's in neutral. Girls, she's in 2 gears at once. So she ain't moving. Fun. Yeah, I just looked. I knew it was an issue with them. I knew they'd get stuck in gear. Apparently, generally 2nd gear, which I got nothing in here to tell me what gear is where. All I know is over here and forward is reverse. And over here gets you a forward gear. Well, the stick goes that way. And that's a click because it's going between 2. And it goes that way. Won't go that way, won't go that way. So I'm going to start. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff online and forums I've found. One guy says, yeah, you can slip a 2x4 in there, pop it with a hammer, it's a 1-second job. Another guy says, you're under there for an hour or 2 with a crescent wrench or something. I don't know, I might be able to just pull the tower. That's where the wear is anyway that causes it. Yay. Finally got her. Number 2's here, helping me get in. This is fun because I can't turn the other way because I'm sitting on a bucket. At least the brakes work, right? That's 90% of it, right? Just keep telling myself that, right? And I might not be able to get out. That's okay, I go over the tire. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Alright, I'm gonna let you go. Okay, as far as she's gonna go, leaves room to walk around the back. Hey, number 2 fit through here. Her boobs made it. I can make it, right? Yep, just barely. So, got the coolant leak fixed, but we're leaking around the fuel shaft seal. So that's something to fix. The good thing is when I checked the brakes, the brake master was still clear full and the brakes actually worked. But yeah, I already showed she was leaking pretty good, right? And there she is, back in far enough I can get around with the skid steer and get in to get things in and out of here. I wish she was done and together. I don't know if I actually got it popped or if number 2 got it popped, because I had her up in the cab, had this side up in the air, and wiggled drive lines, and she was shifting back and forth, and everything seemed to be lined up right, what I could see. So said and done, and it worked. And I ran it through first, second, and reverse, shifted in and out of them. Someday we'll get on this thing. But now I gotta put away my mess and a couple of pallets that are sitting outside. Most days didn't get enough done, but yeah, she's parked in here, so if it rains, I don't give a shit. And I blew stuff out. It's nowhere near clean up there, especially after being in this dirty barn for over a year. But I'm gonna leave that plastic on the roof for now. It ain't going anywhere. I got it so I can open and close the door. Got a fuel leak to fix. I guess that's like the 3rd time I've said that. Yeah, I'm done with the fuel leak then, right? Just got to get parts for that, time to work on it, and all the cleaning to do. And I think I'm going to take the shift tower out and take it apart and see how worn out it is. I was hoping to pop the stick and probably just rebuild the stick today, but it doesn't seem to come out the top easily. From what I can tell looking in the parts book, there's a pin or a cotter key in from the bottom to keep it from coming out. Makes it a little difficult to just pop it, fix it, and pop it back in. So anyway, but there she is. Y'all got to see her a little more today than you have for a while. And I'm seriously considering taking a tarp, tie up there on that post, run to this one, because that'll keep most of the grain dust from coming in here. The straw's blocking a good share, the hay's blocking a good share, and all the dust comes from those 2 feeders that way. So that'll help keep it cleaner. I really need a pit to run this thing over and set somebody on the pressure washer, and underneath is nasty. I don't think it's ever been cleaned up. And when we've cleaned it up since it's been here, I mean, you know, you only get so much when you can't see what you're doing. So a pit, or I don't know, there's some little people live north of town. Maybe I can get one of them underneath there. They can stand up with the pressure washer. Put a short wand on, they can get right into everything. Yeah, I'm kidding, folks. Really, the little people north of town, you probably couldn't get them to do any work anyway. That part I'm not kidding about. Oh well. Thanks for watching. Hope you all had a good day. Excuse me. Didn't know that was coming till it came. And wind's been blowing all day, just, you know, only through here when you open your eyes and look the right direction, it blows all the dust in your face. So it might be blowing something in. Who knows? We'll find out.